what if packages showed up at your door like before you even finished hitting buy online? Or
Oh.
you went to the doctor and an AI had already read through all your tests?
It's closer than you think.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's kind of freaky, but that's what we're diving into today,
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
The economics of AI,
Yeah.
specifically prediction machines. And we're using, for this deep dive, the updated and expanded prediction machines, which is a book by economists, Ajay Agrawal, Joshua Gans, and Avi Goldfarb. Have you heard of this book?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a Bible for kind of understanding this world.
Mm-hmm.
And they have this brilliant comparison to uh, the invention of cheap artificial light.
Oh, okay. I'm intrigued now. How is cheap prediction like artificial light?
So think about, we used to use candles and gas lamps, and then we had electric light.
Right.
We could suddenly illuminate our homes and cities
Yeah.
cheaply and efficiently.
Yeah.
Revolutionized how we work, learn, even socialize.
So you're saying that cheap prediction is going to have a similar impact on our lives?
Absolutely. Just like light revolutionized how we interact with the physical world, cheap prediction is revolutionizing how we interact with information
Yeah.
and make decisions. And it's not just knowing what's going to happen in the future. It's about understanding the present and even the past.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So give me an example. What's an example of this that we see every day?
Well, think about credit card fraud detection.
Right.
They use your past transactions, your spending patterns, even your location data to predict if a current transaction is likely to be fraudulent.
So they're not just like reacting to fraud. They're
Yeah.
like, whoop, this looks like it could be fraud.
Exactly. And companies like MasterCard are taking it a step further.
Yeah.
Instead of those annoying false declines, they can now proactively send you a new card if they predict your old one is compromised.
Wow. That's pretty amazing. So yeah, that's pretty slick. I never thought of it that way. So that's one example. There's got to be tons more though, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Think about medical diagnoses where AI analyzes images to detect tumors.
Right.
Or even Google Translate. It's predicting the right words in a different language based on the input text.
So much of our world is already being impacted by this.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And we're only at the beginning, it feels like.
Yeah. And what's really interesting is that even small improvements in prediction accuracy can have a massive impact.
Okay.
The authors highlight how going from 98% to 99.9% accuracy might not sound like much,
Right.
but it actually means mistakes plummet by a factor of 20.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like one little tiny improvement can make a huge difference.
Huge difference.
Yeah.
Think about self-driving cars.
Right.
A 0.1% improvement in prediction accuracy could be the difference between a safe journey and a potential accident.
Yeah. Yeah. It's huge. So much data, AI getting so much better at making predictions, especially when there's so much data involved. But where do humans fit in?
Yeah.
This book dives into this concept of judgment and how it becomes even more important in an AI-powered world.
Absolutely. And this is key, right?
Mm.
So AI might be able to predict the fastest route to the airport,
Right.
but it's still a human who decides whether they'd rather take a scenic detour,
Oh, right.
right?
Yeah.
Or think about drug discovery. AI can analyze millions of molecules to identify potential drug candidates, but it's still scientists who decide which ones to test and how to design clinical trials.
So it's not just about making decisions. It's about understanding all the stuff around the decision.
Exactly. It's about understanding the context, the nuances, the long-term implications.
So like the values involved, maybe even ethics, kind of the bigger picture.
Exactly. Things that AI is not equipped to handle on its own.
So as AI is getting better at making predictions, human judgment is more important because we're the ones who are using these really powerful predictions.
Precisely. And the authors argue that as prediction gets cheaper and more abundant, the value of human judgment actually increases.
Wow.
We have more options, more data, and therefore more complex decisions to make.
Right.
That's where human judgment really shines.
Interesting. So much fascinating stuff here, but I'm also curious about jobs. I mean, if AI can predict and automate so many things, does that mean everyone's going to be out of a job?
Right. And that's a common concern. But the book argues that AI isn't simply about replacing jobs. It's about transforming the nature of work itself.
Okay.
It's causing a reshuffling of tasks and workflows.
So it's not just about the job disappearing, it's about the whole industry changing.
Exactly. And the authors emphasize this concept of complementarity. AI and humans working together to achieve better outcomes than either could alone.
So instead of thinking about AI as a competitor, think about it as a tool.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like think about the example of an MBA admissions process.
All right.
AI could be used to rank applicants based on their data, allowing the admissions officers to focus more on things like conducting personal interviews, building relationships with potential students.
Oh, interesting. So it frees up those humans to do the things that are more, I guess, human.
Precisely.
Right.
AI handles the routine, data-heavy tasks, while humans focus on more nuanced and strategic aspects of the job.
Okay.
And that leads to greater efficiency and better overall outcomes.
So it's like AI optimizing a process, but not necessarily getting rid of the humans involved.
Exactly. And this shift is happening across industries. Take the example of Air Canada. They used AI to predict cargo demand. This led to fewer empty planes and ultimately increased revenue.
Oh, interesting. So they're using AI to figure out like how to make their business more profitable.
Absolutely. And it highlights how AI is not just about automation, but also about revealing opportunities that were previously hidden from view.
And that's interesting. So it's about like finding these efficiencies that maybe we didn't even know were there before.
Exactly. And it's about using AI to unlock new possibilities and create new value for businesses and customers alike.
Wow. So much really exciting stuff going on. But this all makes me wonder about how we adapt to a world where AI is always changing.
Right. And that's an important point. The book highlights this challenge of adaptability in the face of AI's constant learning and improvement.
It's like a moving target. Like it's just getting better all the time. So the skills that we need today might not be the skills that we need tomorrow.
Exactly. And the authors use this example of the iPhone's predictive keyboard.
Oh.
Right. Without AI constantly learning and adapting to your typing style, that feature wouldn't be nearly as effective.
Oh, that's an interesting point. It's like it's learning from us.
Yeah.
And then using that to make our experience better.
Exactly.
I never even thought about it like that.
And it highlights how AI can leverage existing structures in unexpected ways. Like the QWERTY keyboard was originally designed to prevent keys from jamming on typewriters.
Right.
It's become the perfect foundation for a predictive keyboard powered by AI.
Yeah. So it's like taking something old and making it new.
Absolutely.
So this is all, it is really exciting, AI making predictions so cheap and abundant. But we have to also think about the risks. I mean, there's got to be some risks involved, right?
Absolutely. And the authors emphasize that AI is not a magic solution.
Right.
It can inherit biases, it can be vulnerable to manipulation, and even create new challenges that we need to anticipate and address.
I think about that chatbot that was, quickly taught to be racist
Exactly.
by like users on Twitter.
Yeah.
It's like it's scary. Like it can be used for bad as easily as good.
Absolutely. And it underscores the importance of careful training, oversight, ethical considerations in AI development.
So data is really key here.
Yeah.
Because it's like the fuel for AI. So more data, the better.
That's generally true, but
Yeah.
but the book dives into the nuances of this idea. They talk about this concept of diminishing returns when it comes to data.
So there's like a point where more data isn't necessarily better.
Exactly. There's a sweet spot where the value of additional data starts to decline. And other factors like the quality and relevance of the data become more important.
So you can have a ton of data, but if it's not good data, it's not really going to help.
Exactly.
Right. And of course, we can't forget about privacy. Right.
That's
I mean,
right.
companies like Google built their entire business model off of having tons of data about people. But it does make you think about like who owns this data, who controls it.
Absolutely. And this leads to some even bigger questions about strategy and competition in an AI-driven world. Companies are using AI to make strategic decisions, not just to improve operational efficiency.
The book gives this crazy example, this mind-blowing example of Amazon potentially shifting from a quote-unquote shopping then shipping to a shipping then shopping model.
Right.
They think that AI could be so good at predicting what we want that they'll just send us stuff, and then we can decide if we want to keep it.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
It's a radical idea, but it highlights how AI can fundamentally change the nature of entire businesses. It's not just about automating tasks, it's about rethinking the entire customer experience.
Right. It's like changing the rules of the game.
Exactly. And those who can adapt to these new rules and leverage the power of prediction will be the ones who thrive in this new landscape.
Wow. That's a lot to take in.
Yeah.
But before we go any deeper, there's one more concept I want to make sure we introduce. It's something called reward function engineering.
Oh, yes.
What is that?
So this is essentially about figuring out what we want AI to optimize for.
Okay.
You see, AI is incredibly good at achieving goals, but those goals need to be carefully defined by humans. It's like programming a self-driving car.
Right.
You don't just tell it to drive. You have to specify things like speed limits, safety protocols, even passenger comfort.
So it's like aligning AI with our values.
Precisely. And this is where human judgment becomes even more critical. We need to be clear about what we value, what kind of world we want to create, and then design AI systems that reflect those values.
So it's not just about telling AI where to go, it's about telling AI what kind of trip we want to have.
Right. That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
And the book provides this really compelling example with ZipRecruiter, which is an online job board.
Oh, yeah?
They brought in economists to help them figure out the optimal pricing for their services.
So just like a typical business problem.
Right. But it turned out that maximizing short-term profits wasn't the only goal. They also had to consider long-term customer loyalty, building a sustainable business.
Oh, interesting. So it's not just about like, okay, how do we get the most money right now?
Exactly. So the reward function for their AI wasn't just about squeezing every dollar out of each transaction. It had to account for factors like customer satisfaction and retention.
So it's like they're teaching the AI to play the long game, not just to get the quick win.
Exactly. And this highlights how AI can enhance human decision-making. It can help us consider a wider range of factors, weigh different trade-offs, and ultimately make more informed choices.
Okay, so this reward function engineering is about making sure that AI is working towards the things that we as humans think are valuable.
Exactly. It's about ensuring that AI serves our needs and aligns with our goals rather than the other way around.
Fascinating. I think we've laid a really good foundation here for understanding how this prediction revolution is playing out.
Yeah.
But I want to go even deeper. Let's take a look at how this is happening in different industries and what it means for all of us.
Absolutely. We've talked about AI and how it's affecting like pretty much every part of our lives.
Yeah.
But let's get specific. Let's look at some sectors
All
like healthcare. What's AI doing to healthcare?
Yeah, that's a big one. What is it doing? How is it changing things?
Well, one of the most promising areas is diagnostics.
Okay.
Remember how we talked about AI looking at images?
Yeah.
Well, it can analyze things like X-rays and CT scans
Uh-huh.
to find things that are wrong
Oh, wow.
with amazing accuracy.
So it's like a second pair of eyes for the doctor,
Exactly.
helping them catch stuff they might miss.
Precisely. And that means diagnoses happen earlier, treatment starts faster, and people get better results.
It's like AI is revolutionizing how we think about healthcare.
It really is.
Yeah.
And it goes beyond diagnostics. AI can personalize treatments, predict risks, even help develop new drugs and therapies.
Wow. So it's touching like every step of the healthcare journey.
Exactly. And we're just getting started.
Yeah.
As AI learns and improves, we can expect even more groundbreaking stuff in the future.
It's incredible to think about, but what about the challenges?
Oh, there are definitely challenges.
Yeah.
Healthcare is complex and sensitive.
Right.
One big issue is data privacy.
Oh, of course.
Healthcare data is super sensitive.
Yeah,
It needs to be protected.
absolutely. So we got to make sure these AI systems are protecting our privacy.
Exactly. And another thing is bias.
Oh, right? AI can be biased.
Yeah, AI is only as good as the data it learns from.
Yeah.
So if the data is biased, the AI will be biased too.
So it's like garbage in, garbage out.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
We have to train AI on diverse and representative data to avoid that.
To make sure it's fair for everyone.
Exactly. And we can't forget the human side of healthcare.
That's so important.
AI can help doctors and nurses,
Huh.
but it can't replace them.
Right.
We still need that human touch, that empathy.
Absolutely. So it's about finding that balance.
Yes.
Using AI to make healthcare better, but not forgetting about the human element.
Precisely. It's about AI and humans working together. And that brings us back to judgment.
Oh, right. The stuff we talked about earlier.
Yeah, human judgment is essential in an AI-driven world.
It seems like that's a big theme of this whole conversation.
It is. AI is powerful, but it's a tool.
Yeah.
We decide how to use it.
We shape the future with it.
Exactly.
Sure.
And that brings us back to reward function engineering.
Oh, yeah, that idea of telling AI what to aim for.
Right. We need to tell AI what goals to pursue, what values to uphold.
It's like giving AI a moral compass.
Exactly. We have to think about the ethics of AI,
Yeah.
how it affects society as a whole.
It makes you think about those sci-fi stories where AI takes over.
Right. But AI isn't some independent force.
Yeah.
It's a tool we create. It reflects our values.
So if we want AI to do good, we have to build that goodness into it.
Actually, reward function engineering is about making sure AI aligns with our values.
What's a big responsibility?
It is. AI isn't just a technological revolution. It's a societal one.
It's changing everything.
It is. And it's up to us to make sure it changes things for the better.
This has been really eye-opening. I'm starting to see AI in a whole new light.
I'm glad to hear that.
It's not just about robots and algorithms. It's about us. It's about humanity.
Exactly. AI is a mirror reflecting who we are and what we value.
So where do we go from here? What other transformations are happening?
Well, let's look at another fascinating example. The automotive industry.
Cars. What's AI doing to cars?
It's changing everything. Think self-driving cars.
Oh, yeah. Those are getting a lot of buzz.
It's not just about automating driving. It's about reimagining the whole industry and maybe even transportation itself.
I'm not sure what to think about self-driving cars. Are they really the future?
They could be. The technology is improving rapidly, and we're already seeing them on the roads in some places.
Okay, so what's so great about them? What are the advantages?
But one big one is safety.
Right.
Human error causes a lot of accidents.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Self-driving cars could make roads much safer.
Because the AI is in control. It's programmed to follow the rules.
Exactly. And they could improve traffic flow, reduce congestion. Imagine cars talking to each other, optimizing routes to avoid traffic jams.
That would be amazing, especially in cities.
And there are environmental benefits, too.
Oh, really?
They can drive more efficiently, which means less fuel consumption and lower emissions.
So it's not just about convenience, it's about sustainability, too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And think about people who can't drive themselves.
Right.
The elderly people with disabilities.
Self-driving cars could give them freedom.
Exactly. It's about making transportation accessible to everyone.
That's a powerful vision.
It is. But of course, there are challenges, too.
Oh, yeah.
The technology itself is still developing.
Right.
Self-driving cars need to handle complex situations and unpredictable environments.
It's not just driving in a straight line.
Exactly. And there are legal and ethical questions.
Oh, of course.
Who's responsible if there's an accident? How do we program them to make ethical decisions?
It's like a whole new set of problems to solve.
It is. And it's forcing us to rethink our relationship with technology and our responsibilities as creators of AI.
So self-driving cars are like a mini version of the whole AI revolution.
Exactly. They're not just a technological innovation, they're a societal one.
They're making us ask big questions about the future of transportation, the role of technology in our lives, even what it means to be human.
Exactly. We're grappling with questions of agency and responsibility in a world where machines are making more and more decisions.
It's a lot to think about.
It is. Yeah. But it's important to have these conversations now as AI continues to evolve.
This has been fascinating. It's like AI is touching every part of our lives.
It is. And we've only just begun to explore its potential.
I'm eager to see where it goes next. What other sectors are being transformed by AI?
Well, AI is revolutionizing everything from finance and retail to education and entertainment.
So many possibilities. It's mind-boggling.
It is. But it's also incredibly exciting to be living in a time of sort of rapid technological advancement.
I agree. I can't wait to see what the future holds. Wow, we've covered so much in this deep dive.
We have.
From like the basics of prediction to like how AI is changing healthcare and transportation. It's amazing.
It really is. We've seen how AI can help people do things better, how it's changing entire industries.
Yeah.
And making us think about some pretty big questions about ethics and society.
It's been an incredible journey. And I feel like we're just getting started.
There's so much more to explore.
Yeah.
That's what makes AI so fascinating.
What really blows my mind is how AI isn't just a tool anymore.
Right.
It's like it's becoming a partner.
It is.
In decision making.
It is. You know, as we get more used to AI and as AI gets smarter, our relationship with it changes.
It's not just about telling it what to do.
Right.
It's like we're working together, having a conversation, learning from each other.
Exactly. And that's leading to new ideas, new discoveries, all sorts of possibilities.
The book talks about how AI can actually help us overcome our own, like, biases and limitations.
That's a really important point.
Like, we make mistakes, right?
We do.
Because of our emotions or preconceptions.
Our brains can only handle so much.
Yeah.
AI can help us see things more objectively.
So it's like a brain boost.
It is. It can help us make more rational decisions.
This is especially important in areas like finance.
Oh, absolutely.
Where emotions can really mess things up.
Big time. People make bad investment decisions based on fear or greed.
Right.
AI can provide that data-driven perspective to help us stay on track.
It's like having a robot financial advisor that's always calm and rational.
Exactly. And AI is also being used to personalize financial advice. Tailor investment strategies, even detect fraud.
So it's transforming finance, just like healthcare and transportation.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
as AI keeps getting more powerful and easier to use,
Yeah.
this trend is only going to accelerate.
It's exciting, but also a little scary. It's moving so fast, it's hard to keep up.
It is a fast-moving field,
Yeah.
but that's what makes it so dynamic.
True. True.
There's always something new to learn.
Yeah. Speaking of learning, what about education?
Oh, that's a great question.
If AI can personalize financial advice, can it do the same for education?
Absolutely. It's
Yeah.
already happening. AI is being used to create personalized learning experiences,
Okay.
tailor educational content,
Uh-huh.
even provide one-on-one tutoring.
So imagine every student having their own AI tutor.
Exactly. A tutor that adapts to their learning style, their pace, their needs.
That's amazing. It's like AI could make quality education accessible to everyone.
That's the goal,
Yeah,
to democratize education.
I love that. But are there any downsides?
Of course, there are always challenges. One big one is equity.
Right.
If everyone doesn't have equal access to AI-powered education,
Yeah.
it could actually make inequality worse.
So it's not enough to just have the technology.
Right.
We have to make sure everyone benefits from it.
Exactly. And we also have to be careful about bias.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
AI can be biased.
If we're not careful, AI systems could end up limiting students' perspectives instead of broadening them.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's not just about giving students access to AI, it's about using AI to promote critical thinking and inclusivity.
To make education better for everyone.
Precisely. And that requires thinking carefully about the ethical and societal implications.
It seems like that's the recurring theme here.
It is. AI is powerful and it's affecting every aspect of our lives.
It's like that quote, any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic.
That's a good one. AI can feel like magic, but it's not.
Yeah,
It's a tool we created,
right.
and we have to use it wisely.
This deep dive has really changed how I think about AI.
I'm glad to hear that.
It's not just about robots and algorithms. It's about us. It's about human potential.
That's a great way to put it. It's about what we can achieve together.
This has been an incredible conversation. Thank you so much for joining me.
It's been my pleasure. It's always great to talk about this stuff.
And to our listeners, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the world of prediction machines.
It's a world full of possibilities and challenges.
And we hope you'll continue to explore it with us. Until next time.